Happy New Year, everyone. We are in 2024. A new year for great things, goals to achieve, new memories to make, all of the good stuff. So, welcome back to my channel, Life with Travia. And for today's video, I'm going to talk about the word disability and how persons perceive it as the worst thing ever to live with. Yes, it comes with its challenges, its obstacles, your struggles, but that doesn't mean that you have to compare your life to my life as a person living with a disability as if it is the worst thing ever. For some reason, persons think that having a disability is a burden, so they always make a comparison about their life towards someone that's living with a disability. And even though we have our challenges and our struggles, our lives are not far more burdensome than yours. Yes, it requires us to adapt to certain situations rather than before I was walking. Now I am sitting and I have to use a wheelchair. Doesn't mean that because now that I am sitting that my life has to be compared to yours to see that we are in a worse condition. Just like how I had to figure out how to live life now to my new norm. If something happens to you, you would just have to figure it out the same way. It doesn't mean that there should be some comparison to say, because now I'm in this situation that you have to compare your life to mine. Having a disability doesn't stop life. Actually, I know for me, it enhances it a little bit more, honestly. And I think that most persons will say that things that they didn't do versus now having a disability, they can tell you that they do far more now than what they did before. Things that you thought that maybe you wanted to do before and you didn't get the chance, and now you are able to do it because of this. Having a disability doesn't stop life. For some reason, society thinks that having a disability stops life, but it doesn't. Life still goes on. There are things still to do in life, things that you want to finish. Someone may be studying and want to finish studying whatever it is they were doing at the time. Probably the person who was working at the time and want to get back out into the working world and not be deprived of getting back out into the working world just because they have a disability. So we need to stop assuming that when we have a disability, it's like it's the end of the world. It is not the end of the world. Sometimes life just begins for some persons actually. And some persons will tell you that even though they have the disability, they feel that life is more fulfilling. You may think that it is like the worst thing. And yes, quite naturally at first, having to adapt to something new is life changing. You will go through the phase of that. When that phase is over, of course you're gonna be like, I don't want to stay in this mind frame. There are things that I want to do, so time to pick up myself and move on. You don't always want persons in your ear telling you, oh, if I were you, I don't know if I would have want to live life like that. So what? So you're saying that you would rather be there than living, having to live life differently than how you were doing it before, just because now you have a disability. And for some persons that were born with a disability, they go on in life and achieve their goals. Do they let being born with a disability stop them? No, but also they don't want persons pointing out their limitations, because quite naturally they live it every single day. Every single day. So they don't need you to point it out more than what's already there facing them. Now, if you choose to live your life that way, then that's you. But my advice would be, don't think that it is the end of the world, because it isn't. And don't let people let you believe that it is, because it isn't. Yes, you will have your time where you look back on things and even wish that there are certain things that you would have done, but that doesn't mean that you can't still go on and achieve them. But it's just that you just have to take a different approach in doing so. And yes, there are persons that are going to look at you maybe when you're out. Of course, they're going to stay. You can't stop people from staying, that's one thing. And I think I've said in a video before, persons also stay because they are curious too. And you're gonna have the ignorant ones. I also think that disability isn't something burdensome. You also have to give them that chance to educate themselves and be aware of what it is to have a disability. The more awareness and the more education that you bring to society, it would help persons to think that disability is not the end of the world. It doesn't stop life. We all can't be the same, unfortunately. We are living in a world where everyone is different in some sort of way. If we all have the same mindset, what a dull world that would be. There are actually persons who have a disability out there doing great things in the world. Everyone's path won't be the same. What my journey entails won't be the same for you. We all just have to walk the path that is intended for us, with the same access to education and employment to empower persons with disabilities. We can do far more things than you think. So persons need to stop thinking that having a disability, and not even just having it, but comparing it to their lives, that we are so much worse off. And we are not. You as the society just need to be receptive of persons with disability within the community. Give them that chance to go just like you, explore just like you. As they explore, sometimes the path that they may take may not end up to be the path that works out for them, and they have to take another route. But at least that opportunity is out there for them to take it, and not worrying about what other people think about them. Yes, it's not everyone's mindset and maybe built up to have that confidence, and based on how society is and all the negative things that you always here. Some persons are going to succumb to that, and if they don't have support, from persons who they think that they need it from, especially within their family, then they are going to go out there believing and hearing everything that other persons say and believe them. Because I have my disability, I can't do that. Then I will just sit myself in a corner and don't do anything. Rather than that person or, along with their family and whoever else, try to educate persons and bring more awareness to the fact that having a disability doesn't stop life. They also end up agreeing with what society believes. And as I always said, it always stems from the persons around you too. Because if they around you believe that, hey, having a disability, you're gonna life, you are burdened, then that is what is going to sprout in the ear. That's basically is what you're going to hang on to, because that is what you keep hearing. Rather than trying to build you up, tell you encouraging things, that if you see something that you want to achieve, you'll be able to do it. They are the ones that break you down to the core. They are the ones that tell you every single day, you ain't see how you be. You can't do nothing. Then they chit chat with whoever and say, well, yes, she can't do this for herself, rather than them try to help that person to get to where they want to be. Then if you help that person to get to where they want to be, then you wouldn't think that person is burdensome, because then that person would be independent enough to do things for themselves. So let's get out of this notion that disability stop life and it is burdensome. It is only burdensome because you think so, and you don't try your best to help that person to navigate through it. Yes, they're going to have challenges and they're going to have struggles, because you don't have a disability, but you also face challenges. And would you want someone to tell you that you are a burden? Of course not. And you don't have a disability? Of course not. So let's stop with the notion, or let's stop compare our lives to other persons with disability and thinking that if they have a disability, that your life should be compared to their life as if it is the worst thing ever. We as persons with disabilities are always open and accessible to persons who are willing and truly wants to be educated on persons living with disability. We need to get away out of some of those long time ways of thinking, words that used to use long ago. We can't be using them in this modern term now when you are referring to someone with a disability. So the more that you know, the better it will be to help to change the narrative. And by you educating yourself also, you can help educate your friends among you, your family members. We all have to teach each other. And maybe by you educating yourself, you won't think that, looking at disability is like a death sentence, as people often think it is. And the first thing that comes out of their mouth is, I don't know, if I were you, I would want to live. You have a chance to live, but you just have to live it differently, and you still can achieve whatever you want. You just have to go through a different path to achieve it, and nothing is wrong with that. The main focus and the main goal should be is that you achieve it. It doesn't matter the path that you had to take, the different stumbling blocks that may have, came upon you that you never thought that would have happened, and it came. But you just have to find some way to overcome and push your way through. And the sooner you try to figure out things, the better it be for you than practically moping around and listening to all the negatives that person says. It won't help you. It won't help you at all. While they are living, you are at a standstill. They are going on with their life. They have their own challenges too, but yet they are discouraging you, and you are just sitting there by the wayside. So let's stop thinking that having a disability is the end of the world, because it isn't. We can absolutely contribute to society. We can make meaningful contribution to society once we have all the things that are accessible to everyone and they are afforded to us in the same capacity. We are very capable. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Until next time, bye.